Hi everyone, this is Jason. So today I'm going to spend some time of sharing my experience of importing the XN12 excavator from China, and hopefully you find this video useful. And if you want to try to do the import yourself, at least that give you some starting point. So let's get started. My experience with these excavator started back in 2019. And I personally went to China and visited some factories, and this is one of the factory I visited. And as you can see, this factory makes some decent size parts of the excavator, and a lot of time these factories they make parts for other companies as well, and they also make some of their own. So this particular one, they make a lot of these 1-ton excavator, and you can see the parts, and that's assembly lines, and that's assembly line, and this is the high top factory I visited. And I also visited some mini skid steer factories, and that's their assembly line, and that's me taking a picture of the Rhino excavators. And as you can see, there's a pretty decent sized company, and they make pretty nice products. And this is their assembly line for the little excavators. So how you locate your product? You can use either Alibaba.com or MadeInChina.com apps, and they pretty much sells about the same thing. So I have opened up here is the Alibaba.com, and I have typed in the excavator search word. So you see a whole bunch of things come up, and some of them have ridiculously low price. And what you need to do is you need to contact the sales people and find out what is the real price. And because a lot of time they just put some numbers on it and it's not even true. Certain companies they already have dealers in the US, so they won't sell it to you over internet. You will have to contact the local dealers. For example, the Sunword, they have dealers here, and various other ones. Okay, so once you locate the product you want, what you will need to do is you will talk to the sales and be very specific of what you want, because a lot of times their basic models is just that basic models, and it may not serve the purpose for you. So, for example, I'm a landscaper and I do a lot of trenchings, diggings in the side setbacks of the houses. And usually these areas are about 4 to 5 feet. So I need small excavators that have the boom swing. And a lot of the basic ones don't have it. Okay? So just be specific of what you want. So once you locate your product and you want to import, so what you will need is an importer bond. And here's a picture of the importer bond, what it looked like. Well, it's an invoice. So how you get this importer bond is through a custom broker. In this case, there's the custom broker contact out of South San Francisco. And if you want to contact them, you can buy through them. If not, just Google search for custom brokers, and you may be able to find something that's closer to where you live. So once you decided on what products you want, you will need 3 things from your sales. You need first the commercial invoice. It tells you what you're buying, how much it costs you. The second thing is a packing list, and it uses to calculate the freight charges. And the third thing is the bill of landing. It's basically a receipt from the sea shipping company. So once you have all these 3 things, you can give it to your broker, import broker, custom broker, and they will help you file something called ISF. It stands for Import Security Filing. So you want to make sure you do this before your freight leave the harbor, at least 2 days. Otherwise, you may run into penalties from the U.S. Custom, and the penalty could be pretty high, a couple $1,000s. So you want to make sure once you get this bill of landing, you want to give it to your custom broker immediately so that they can do the filing. Once they do the filing, it's pretty much your cargo is on the ship. It's coming to the U.S., and it takes a couple weeks with delays, this and that. It could be a month to maybe 2 months, depends. And then as the day approaches to the arrival, you will start receiving emails from your broker as well as the freight company. So here is a short screenshot of the freight company, CTL, LAX, and every time it's different freight company. And what they will do is they will send you arrival notice and the invoice. And the invoice will look like this. So this is the invoice from the freight company. It's basically itemized charges. On the first page, it has all different charges. It sums up to be $919. And so this is the price you will have to pay. This is the invoice you'll have to pay to the freight forwarding company on top of the shipping that the excavator companies already charge you. So don't get fooled by the company saying free shipping or $200 shipping and all that stuff. So that basically covers the trucking charge from China to the port, from the factory to the port, and the packaging. This is very important because the freight has increased for the past few months, double or even in some cases triple. And so this was in June, and I paid $919 for this one excavator, and right now it's $2,500 per piece. And a lot of times in the invoices, they will have the payment instruction, bank details, so you would just make a payment directly to the freight forward company. And if you don't do this on time, you may run the risk of not being able to get your cargo. So what we are looking at, this email is the email from the custom broker, and it basically tells you it's a arrival notice and your freight has been released. There's a warehouse fee. You want to pay attention to the last free day, because once you passes that day and you do not pick up your cargo by that day, you are running the risk of getting charged by the warehouse, and it could be upward of $100 something to $200 per day. So you want to pay particular attention and just be ready to pick up your cargo. Usually along with that custom broker email, this is what a release document looks like. It tells you warehouse location, where to pick up, who's to pick up, and a little note from the custom release, cargo release result. So make sure you print out all the pages and bring it with you to the warehouse for picking up. If you don't, you may have to print it out there, and the warehouse would charge you additional for printing. One thing I do want to mention is, because we are importing a machinery that has an engine to it, so we need to fill out an EPA form, EPA declaration. This is one of the example of one of my import, and just basically you can use that as a guideline. And also there's instruction in the back pages, so you just follow the instruction and fill it out accordingly. So basically you will definitely need engine serial number, EPA certificate, machine, manufacturer, factory names, things of that. Once you fill out this, you will also have to pay an additional fee for the EPA filing. Okay, it's about, I think it was like $75, $50 or something for each. So once you have all these paperwork filed, you pretty much set for your cargo. And what you see here is the excavator in my trailer, and I arrived at the warehouse with my pickup and the trailer to load up. So make sure you bring extra cash and checks with you, because if you arrive the warehouse with a trailer, a lot of time they will charge you extra for coming out of their loading docks, and they charge you a rent fee. And that's a very common practice for these warehouses. Okay, so what we can do is do a little math of how much it actually costs us to import this excavator. So we paid $7,870, and that's including the $500 shipping by the factory, plus $919 for the freight forwarding charge, and then there's the $103 charge for the warehouse, plus a $50 ramp fee. And here's a bigger one, is the custom charge, custom duty. Here's an invoice prepared by your custom broker, $1,900 for the duty fee, and the broker fee is $90, ISF filing is $50, and there's the EPA declaration for $45. So the total I have to pay additional is $2,100, and that comes to be $11,048. That's what it cost me. So if you're doing this for a business, you will have to calculate your time, picking up, talking to the sales, all these things. But if you're doing it for your own use, maybe it's not a bad deal. One thing I do want to point out, if you look at this commercial invoice, it came from Shandong Land World Commercial Company. And even though I have personally visited the Rhino Excavator factory, and the salesperson told me that he's directly from the factory, but usually it isn't so. And just because China is such a big manufacturing country that they have all these factories making stuff for sale, and so you have all these different exporting companies who will claim to be directly from the factory, and also these exporting company may put their logos on the goods for sale. So then it becomes a very confusing marketplace. But that's just a very normal commerce practice over there. So don't be alarmed when you receive an invoice that's from a different company name. But anyway, if you buying stuff directly through Alibaba and or madeinchina.com, these big platforms, usually it's not a problem. You just don't want to be wiring money to someone you have no clue. That's just a bit risky. Okay, and also another thing to point out is if you look at the invoice date, and if you look at my pickup date, that's about 3 months. I was able to pick up my excavator in the middle of July. So that's just something you have to be aware of the wait time. And now with the sea freight being so congested, it could be even longer for the wait time. Okay. That's it for this video. I hope you find the information here helpful. And if you don't want to go through the hassle of ordering it from China, you can also look my tractors under Landscape Buddy brand. And we are also making a brand new model that you will not be able to find anywhere else. Okay, please subscribe, hit like, and we'll see you next time.